Welcome, artists. In this video, you will learn the concept of a T-shape in caricature and see examples of how to apply it in your caricature project. Quite simply, the T-shape is formed by the eyes and the nose. Observing the width and height of the eyes and the nose in this way can be a great place to start for adding features to your caricature. In fact, some artists choose to start with the T-shape before even going to the head shape or any other parts of the face. Take, for examples, these two celebrity portraits. Imagine drawing a T around the eyes and nose of each actor. So let's start over here and let's change this to a color we can see. Okay, so if I go along the top of the eyes, down the side, along the bottom, out to the edge of the nose, across to the other edge of the nose, back up to the eye. There we go. There's the T shape for this guy over here. Try it again, along the bottom, down to the side, across the nose, up here, along the bottom. All right, we can see they're very similar, but in this case, the eyes are closer together, a little narrower in the head, and there's a shorter distance between his eyes and the tip of his nose. The longer distance here, right? Why do we care? Because we're doing caricatures, and we want to be able to see the relationship of the sizes of the features of the face to know what parts we might want to emphasize. So let's look at the next example. Notice all the different ways that you could structure your T's. So think about changing 3 variables. You can change the width of the distance of the eyes. You can change the width of the distance of the nose. You can change the height, right? Looking from the height of the nose, from the eyes all the way down to the nose, right? This is a short height, long height. And another thing you can change is the angle. So notice that these eyes are slanted down, up, I guess you would say. These eyes are slanted down. So those are 3 things that you can think about, and notice how many different ways we can create those shapes just with the eyes and the nose. Let's look again. We'll do one more. You could try this at home. All right, so here we have Rihanna. Again, because she's kind of looking to the side, her eyes are a little narrower, so it's a pretty narrow bar at the top. And then to the edges of the nose, across back to this side there. So I'm noticing her eyes are pretty wide. They go pretty far across her face, whereas Mr. Will Ferrell over here, they kind of slant down just a little bit. And then to the nose, right? So we can see how his eyes are really close, centered in the face, so we could exaggerate the area around his eyes. Whereas Rihanna, we have a short distance between the eyes and the nose, but it's pretty far across to each side of her head. All right, and again, we want to look really closely at these things to make them recognizable, but also see which features we might want to emphasize. So this is a caricature I experimented with last year. We have Drake. In my first drawing, I just did his eyes, his trapezoids, didn't really put much thought into it. But then when I went back and looked at the T shape, his eyes are angled slightly down. So I experimented by just exaggerating that angle and then change the eyes so that they go along that T shape. And I think it makes for a more interesting and expressive caricature. So just like in the lesson on head shape, you want to think about maintaining visual weight in the T shape as well. In order to make your caricature believable, you want to notice that the width and length need to change in equal proportions, meaning as the eyes get closer together, maybe bring the nose further down, right? A squish and stretch. Or we could have the opposite. The eyes move farther apart and we move the nose up. Right? So that idea of maintaining equal visual weight will make your portrait more buyable as we look as viewers of your art. There is a video you could watch for this kind of more step-by-step if you would like. Oops, we're not going to watch that right now. All right, so far you have looked at head shape. Now we're looking at T shape. Next up, you're going to be working on the specific features of the face. But for this lesson, what I want you to do is add on to the head shapes that you experimented with. Try some different T shapes. Look at yourself, because this is a self-portrait. Notice what T shape you have, or is there an expression that you want to make that you would emphasize with the T shape? All right, so for this lesson, go ahead and do some sketching, upload your picture, and I can't wait to see what you did. See you next time.